Forever. Dog.
That's also the other side, is if you think that your therapist is in love with you,
You've
then
got
yes,
mad riz. You've got mad riz. Yes.
that would probably be a time to terminate therapy. Like that's inappropriate. It's not like absolute.
Yeah, it's time to go make another one.
That's not the way it's supposed to feel.
You got to collect them. That is a riz master right there.
Delinquent.
Yeah.
Didn't hit the
you're talking to
record button. I am talking to Ashley. Didn't hit the record button. Mouthful of food.
Yeah.
Delinquent.
I'm a delinquent.
Don't look so pleased.
I'm a little mischievous delinquint.
Uh-oh, Alayna, she already reclaimed it. You have no power.
I have no power.
I like being, I am kind of a little delinquent. I would say I identify as a
I
delinquent.
thought you were going to say I definitely am like a little sub. That's where I thought you were going with that.
Why would I say that?
Because did I misread this entire intro interaction?
Oh, like you're doming me by calling me a little
thought
delinquent?
that you reclaimed it by like accepting the
Alayna.
label as like a little sub.
Alayna.
That's how I took that.
Alayna.
And
You can't speak to me like that anymore.
I thought Mac was on my side because
You
of
can't speak
the
to me like that
disgusted
anymore.
look on her face. No?
Nope.
Okay. Great. Cool. Just me.
You're
then.
like really a therapist now. You're like psychoanalyzing me. And you're totally wrong.
Classic therapist.
Classic
I really am a
therapist.
therapist now.
Wait, who has updates?
Well, that's actually my update is like my practicum is coming to an end very soon in like a month, basically. And I got a job.
Oh my God.
Like I'm going to be like a real therapist. Close your mouth when you chew your food. Delinquent.
I'm really sorry. Mommy.
Like an alien. Oh my God.
Mommy, I'm such a delinquent. I'm taking it so well.
I can't play this game. I can't. I'll lose. I
Why?
tried to play and I lost.
What do you mean? You're doing so great. You invented the game.
I know. I didn't mean to.
It's your
I
game.
hate the game.
It wasn't
I
even-
never said I wanted to play the game.
Oh, I just lost the game. Sorry, everybody.
That's amazing,
Text
Alayna.
my dad. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So
Are you
I'm
excited?
like gonna be yes. I'm excited. It's like I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel in all of this, like how bonkers the last 6 months, especially the last 6 months to a year, let's say, but like particularly the last 6 months has been. I'm like looking at my calendar for like next month is when I finish practicum. And after that, it's like, okay, so I'm done all my classes. I'll be working rather than practicum. So that will be less time in a way.
And money.
Well, that's instead of paying to be there, I'm going to be being paid. It's not, this was actually something I was thinking about because I don't know that a lot of non-therapists or like people outside the therapy world know about how therapists are paid, like in group practice. I thought it actually might be kind of an interesting thing to talk about.
It's totally not interesting, but I will listen.
I think it's very interesting. Obviously, because I'm like in it.
I think it's interesting. I'm interested. Whether or not it's objectively interesting,
This is a good point.
And
it's a good question.
We have a knack for doing that on this podcast, so we should continue.
I actually disagree. I think people are nosy and want to know how people get paid in every other job. I think it is objectively interesting.
I mean, I know people people do ask me in roundabout ways how I get paid all the time, especially when they don't realize, when they have no, there was a whole thing at the end of the summer where everyone in my acting class figured out how many followers I had. Mm-hmm. And so then they started being like,
that's like the worst thing in the world. That's like the worst room to be in.
I loved it. It was at the end of the summer, so it was like enough for me to enjoy it without me being uncomfortable. But one of the funniest conversations was like, they were like, wait, you tour like half of the year? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, where do you go? And I was like, comedy clubs. And they were like, how much time do you do up there? And I was like, 60 minutes. And they were like, what's the headliner doing? Before they figured out that
you're the headliner.
So funny. It was so funny. But anyway, sorry, continue, Alayna.
No, it's the same. Yeah, that reminded me of a similar thing with my school cohort when they all kind of like found my social media. It was like somebody
They
found
knew.
a. No, they
They knew.
didn't. No. Some people did. I got recognized a few times, but the majority of them didn't. And somebody found like a GIF of me. I think we've talked about this, but basically was like texting their friend or something and came up to me later and was like, I saw a GIF of you. Like you were a GIF on my thing. And I was like, yeah. Anyway, and then busted.
Yeah, I'm a GIF.
Yeah, there's a few.
You don't know me from my work as GIF?
I'm a GIF actor, actually. But so I was fascinated and shocked to learn about this a couple of years ago, like when I started school and we started learning about or preparing for like career and kind of talking about the different options that therapists have. Obviously, private practice is different, right? Because it's just you. So the client's fee, right, your rate, you keep it. And then there's like overhead fees or costs, right? Like you have to pay for your different platforms online, and if you're renting a space and insurance and whatever, all that stuff. So that all kind of cuts into the fee. But essentially, it goes from client to you, right? In group practices, so if you're seeing a therapist who's working at an agency agency is different. They might be being paid hourly, which is even less than this. But in like group practices, it's usually like a fee split model. And I think this applies to both Canada and the US. Mm-hmm. So the practice or the group practice takes between like 30 to 50% of the fee as commission. So your therapist is generally only making between 50 and 70% of the actual rate, which a lot of us in school were surprised to find out, but that's standard. And it makes sense, right? Because of all the overhead costs and everything. But it's just something that I thought about as a client before I knew this. You know, sometimes there's a part, we devalue mental health, right? And we devalue care professions.
Sorry, where are those wind chimes coming from?
I don't know. It must have been Mac.
That was my ring.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, someone's at your door.
My girlfriend's leaving.
Bye, girlfriend.
I just needed to know where the wind chimes were. I really thought that was an Alayna purchase, and I was like, Alayna, you've become too Alayna. You need to get rid of those wind chimes immediately.
Oh, you thought
I could totally see her having like a wind chime that like goes off as a reminder to check in with herself like every hour or something.
Or just like oh, time
like
to have
real
gratitude.
Wind chimes?
Yeah, time to have gratitude.
Gratitude time.
Just a quick little check-in. 5 things I'm grateful for in this moment.
I'm trying to show you an actual notification on my phone that
says have gratitude.
Oh my God.
What's it say? Just say what it says.
It says, take 3 deep breaths.
Oh my God, please. That is like the worst. Like,
do you actually take the deep breath when you see that?
So sometimes.
You're talking about your 20%, 20 to 30% that your group takes.
That's all. 20 to 50.
20
like
50.
30 to 50 usually. And I'm not talking
I'm not
about,
surprised by that at all.
Yeah.
But
I think
it is something to think about, you know?
Oh, I guess what I was saying is that with, mental health practices and all that stuff kind of generally being devalued, and I think there are a lot of folks out there, it's changing now, I'd like to think, but that see the rate that a counselor charges and are like, whoa.
Oh, for sure.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's hectic. And
I
it's
think
like,
everyone should have to do like a small business class to realize like what goes into. Mostly because I think more people should be entrepreneurial. I think it's like an incredible skill that would benefit your life out, even if you don't become like some kind of business owner. Like it benefits you outside, but like just really lets you know like how hard people work and how much how I sound like an old dad, but like an old man, but how the value of $1. You'll really know the value of $1. But
no,
yeah.
but even like a I mean, this is obvious, but financial literacy class could include something like that.
Yeah,
you could have because it's.
And I think it would make people less scared to start their own thing. Like I was thinking about like how I wonder how many people would take on building their own business if they weren't afraid of taking on debt. You know, I feel like so many people are just like, that's not possible to me because I don't want to take on debt. And ever since I've been looking into the laundromat stuff, I've been like taking on debt to, you know, I mean, I guess I could drain everything and put it into my laundromat, but I'd rather like just take on some debt. And like my psychological, you know, because we have student loan debt, which I think it's like insane what we do over here.
Yeah,
but it's not the same at all, right? Like when there's different types of loans and there's different types of debt, and like you know, it's definitely people overcome their small business debt all the time, and a lot of them don't. So don't start like a stupid business, but a solid, dependable
this is
business.
Not financial advice. Disclaimer. Disclaimer.
Like a laundromat, you can do it. You can do it for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, it's all about like ROI, right? Return on investment. If you're just basically breaking down the math, you look at what your interest rate's going to be on your loan, right? So how much interest are you paying? What percent? Versus how much you will make in return. And then also look at, is that amount higher altogether, all in, than what you would be making in like, let's say the stock market?
Yeah. And obviously, like there are, you know, things that you can't, things that might affect your business that you can't foresee. But
I've never seen it. I've never heard of that.
But, you know, there's some things that are like, you know, easier than others, like vending machines and laundromats and gas stations and things.
That just made me think of, have you guys seen online, and maybe we shouldn't talk about this, I don't know, but have you seen that the woman who's like going viral for being in love with her psychiatrist? Have you seen that?
Gracious.
No, we should absolutely talk about this because it feels like it's a good title for the thing and clickbate, but I don't know what it is. Can you guys?
I wouldn't even know what to say.
Mac, try.
Even know. No, I don't know the whole story. So a friend posted like something making a comment about it or something, and I had no idea what they were talking about.
Isn't that a pretty common phenomenon?
Ashley, you don't know, you haven't seen it like this.
So
it's wild.
Max, do you want to try to give a
oh god.
Truly. But Mac, do you want to try to give like a summary
I'm
for
so
Ashley?
bad at summarizing.
That's why I want to see you try.
Okay. Woman,
this episode on this segment of Mac has to talk.
God, I feel like I'm back at customs.
Mac has to talk.
Okay.
She's in love with her psychiatrist. What do you mean?
Yeah. Who is this woman? How do you know her?
Okay, woman.
She's my colleague.
Wait. Okay, she's going to a psychiatrist.
Are you reading off a paper?
No, I'm
she's
looking
off into the distance.
I'm trying to think.
She's
No, I don't.
She's
I don't
at
know
the edge of the
why.
void room trying
I
not
don't
to
know
go
why
in.
she's going to.
You don't need to know why she's going to the psychiatrist, do
Okay,
you?
she's going to one, and she basically begins to
I can fill in the gaps.
misread
She's going to one for
basically
ADHD.
everything that he does within professional boundaries, which, Alayna, I think you can say that everything that he did was well within professional boundaries of being a psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
He diagnosed me with ADHD, so
Yeah,
clearly he's into
He
me.
did. He diagnosed her with ADHD and something else, but I don't know what the other thing is. She needs help. And she's not able to get it from this guy because it's not working. And basically she convinces herself that he is in love with her and manipulating her.
Grooming her.
Yeah, grooming her. And
To
he's
do what?
like,
I have so many things to say, but I want to hear the rest of Mac has to talk. Summary.
That's all.
Well,
Wait, Alayna, jump in. Grooming her to like, she's saying that he's into her and taking advantage of her in some way?
yes. She's saying that he manipulated, groomed her, that he's a predator.
Yeah,
because
that's what it is.
she
He's
gave
predatory.
him, her word, content for his fantasies. So she continuously talks about how he manipulates her and is like an expert predator to like give her just enough attention to make her want him, but then he pulls back and goes cold so that she tries harder, and
Goes
then
cold, meaning the end of the appointment is over.
it's like, it's true, like it's, and the reason I bring this up is kind of twofold. One, because it is reminiscent of another situation that we all are very familiar with, but don't totally talk about. And maybe we could talk about it as a mirror image parallel.
My stuff?
Yeah. Like this is
the therapized language stuff about
I was
just like someone trying to cancel somebody else based
Oh.
on them behaving in a way that's like completely consistent with their career and like the
yes.
environment that you're in.
Yes, 100%. Well, if you decontextualize anything from its professional environment, because we all like change environments all the time and the rules are constantly different. Yeah. Also, just hearing something from one perspective and hearing something from someone from another perspective on the same topic, it can really wildly vary. I mean, it can wildly vary.
Well, and that's the second part of why I bring this up, is because this is unique in the fact that as a psychiatrist, based on confidentiality laws, he cannot respond.
Right.
Like legally,
Also,
he cannot do or say anything that acknowledges that this person is or was his patient. And so it's like it's literally whoever this man is, he's like not allowed to defend himself or like share a different perspective or anything.
It's
She
also
also said
not
his
because of
name,
the way
so-
cancel culture works or anything like this works. It's not beneficial for him to defend himself really, because it just creates, what people don't realize about this is like everyone makes money off of this. So anyone who has like a take is going to make it right now, you know, and try to get their views, try to get their money. And so
Right.
when you contribute to that cycle, you're just creating more like money making stuff. And that's not good faith, right?
Right.
People aren't, maybe some people might have it in good faith, but other people are going to be more likely just creating videos on it to create more spin and more time in the, so it doesn't even necessarily, and also just on like an ethical level, even if he could argue in court, let's say that he had to do this, would you want to? Like, as a therapist, would this be something that you wanted to get involved in as on a professional level? It's like, no, that was a big part for me. I was just like, this is so misunderstood and like so out of control. And I don't want to go head to head with someone who, you know, has their opinions about me. And like, I respect that they have their opinions about me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just like, yeah, but that's really scary, Alayna. I bet that kind of freaked you out.
I think it's fake.
And that's,
Oh,
you think it's fake?
Yeah, it's too like Ashley's exactly
did she
right.
name the therapist?
There's a lot of money being made. She first named
did.
him,
okay.
but like I think
they found
she
him?
posted like, I think it's a 26-part series with millions and millions of views on every single video. She's getting a check. Like,
I didn't even mean her, by the way. I meant the people like who professionally repost this type of stuff. I'm not.
They're definitely making money. But when the few parts of the story that I watched that she actually posted, I was like, there is no way that this is real, the way that she's speaking. And if it is real, I seriously hope she gets some help.
Do you think it started real and she's like
concerning.
leaning into it?
She has to double down at this point. It's basically like double down or run away.
Wait, now I'm so curious, Alayna, like what you think about it, like on a.
Well, that's what made me think of it, is like you saying this must have freaked you out or like felt scary. What made me think about it is talking about small business and how unforeseen things can go wrong, and like thinking about like being a therapist. And I'm not necessarily talking about me, but just like being a therapist
it's terrifying.
with an online presence, or like with the internet now being the way that it is. And like a therapy, it is a private, there's nobody else there. So like there is no way to really monitor like what's happening in the therapy room outside of like trying to take good notes, getting supervision, you know, all of the ethical things that we do as therapists. But I think that the part that is scary is that like literally everything that she's describing, there are not many circumstances where I would be like, oh, I've heard the perspective of somebody claiming abuse, and I'm like, I don't know. Like that's not not where
especially
I go.
that's not the liberal way. That's not the liberal way.
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's not my way. It's not the liberal, whatever. But like all of the examples that she's giving is so very truly somebody acting within the ethical boundaries and guidelines of this profession.
Wait,
Mac, do you remember some other examples?
Yeah, I remember one huge example when she told him about the sex dream she had about them in his office.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she was like, she misinterpreted it as he was like flustered or something, but the way she described it was like he turned so pale and like he looked just shocked that I told him that and stuff. I was like,
oh yeah.
If I was a therapist and someone told me in the middle of our session about a dirty dream they had in the office, I would be freaked out.
That's like a Mount Everest level, like, difficulty challenge for a therapist to be looking someone in the eye, and then they're like, I had a sex dream about us, and then they're supposed to be like, yep, and that's a very common thing. What do you think that means?
Exactly. And that's like how it sounds like from her telling, how it sounds like he's responding to all of this. Like they have most of their sessions over Zoom. And then she asked him to come in person. So even that's like, if he's trying to
found out from
groom
somebody
and
else
manipulate you.
that he took patients in
right.
person, and then she like was like, I need to come in person.
Yeah, he didn't offer that to her. Again, probably because he could tell that this is a person who's crossing some boundaries, so they're having their sessions over Zoom. She asks to come in person. He says yes, but then they go back to having sessions on Zoom, which makes me think that he's going, okay, this is somebody pushing this a little bit far. Let me try to put some boundaries in place and go back on Zoom.
Yeah.
She would email him between sessions about having a crush on him.
Oh, God.
And he wouldn't email her back. He
wouldn't
would
answer
talk to her
her
about it in the next session.
Exactly. He would bring it up in the next session, which is exactly ethic guidelines, boundaries, exactly what you're quote unquote supposed to do within your own comfort level.
I was just going to say there are examples of how she interprets things as opposed to how they are concrete written, because at one point she posts a screenshot of an email from her therapist separate from her psychiatrist, who she had told she was not going to see the therapist anymore, and she like let her know about that at a session like very abruptly.
Oh, good.
And the therapist sent her an email, and she described the email as the therapist begging her for one more session and like wanting her to come in one more time. And then we read the email and the therapist says, I usually have one final session to go over goals and like see everything we've accomplished together in our time. Would you please consider one more session to go over this? So you can see the difference in interpretation as opposed to what is actually being said. And it makes you wonder, like, not even because like the things that are being said about the psychiatrist even sound normal on their own. Like nothing that she said really sounded like.
Are people challenging her, or are they really on her side? Okay, that's good.
No, and so that's where I feel that's where my hesitation is around talking about this is like I'm not interested in adding to a pile on or like
she sounds really disturbed. Like
and not even it's not even about that or like her. My kind of thinking is more just around what we've talked about in the past, like cancel culture generally, and then my personal interest and experience in like entering the field of therapy in this world.
Yeah.
And just wondering about like what that would be like to have somebody completely misread your intention, or like I had a meeting with one of my supervisors about a session that I had with a client within my practicum. And I was talking about how...
And they were cuckoo bananas, right, Alayna? They were so fucking crazy. You told us, right? That they were so fucking nuts.
No,
was it
they're
the
lovely.
Really crazy one?
No. I was having a conversation with my supervisor about something that I felt that I had said in session that I felt like had come across wrong, or like I could feel that like the energy in the room changed after I said it. And I was like, ooh, I think I made a misstep, whatever. And I was telling my supervisor about this, and she said something about, part of being a therapist is the risk that every single thing you say might cause harm. And I was like, oh. Yikes. Yeah, but it's true, because you can say something that you think is like supportive or widening perspective, or offering something you think might be helpful. And you're talking about such tender things for people, and like such vulnerability is in the room. Anything has the potential to like land wrong. And then to know that like people that in this specific profession, in like therapy, very uniquely, you can't even acknowledge that this person is your client. Even if they are saying, I am this person's client, you can't be like, yes, they are. And here's like, you can't say a thing, which is obviously there for a reason. It's like to protect clients, and I agree with it. I'm on board.
Right.
And also it's just, I just feel for any therapist who has had this experience, which I think is probably most of them at some point.
I think in every field, I have heard, because my conversation opens the floodgates, right? Like everyone now wants to tell me their thing, and people feel comfortable telling me their thing because they're like, whoa, like, well, what you said, like when someone tells you that they have experienced something, it's like you believe them and you want that to be true. You know what I mean? Like you do want to believe them. And if you suggest otherwise, the concept creep is such that you like don't believe women or victims or something like that. Like we've aligned that is a static, not a flexible spectrum-y kind of a thing. And so even though in the US, and I'm sure many countries, the reason that this is a problem for women in the United States is not the presumption of innocence of the person. It's the system and how they treat women. That's the issue. It's not that we needed to flip presumption of guilt. It's that we needed to like have a system that works better for the incredibly unique crime of like sexual assault and like that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But many people have told me their things, you know? And so frequently it sounds like things are just escalated out of conversation, debate, maybe even a little bit of conflict, and they immediately get escalated into sort of a pseudo trial. And it's crazy that we don't spend more time just being comfortable, you know, with that conversation or debate or conflict or whatever it is. It's really bad. It's bad for society generally, and fine for you till it happens to you. Wait, you guys.
Yeah.
I have a 3D printer. Did I tell you that?
You did. But you told us that you had bought it.
I bought a 3D printer and wait,
why
are you being mean
You're
to
printing
me?
boat parts.
What do you mean? Do we know you have a 3D
We had a whole
printer?
episode on
We had a whole
it.
conversation. You know that this strengthens the
You're
friend
gonna
group.
build boats.
What
I made a planter.
Did you print a planter?
Wow.
Wow.
I'm working on bigger and bigger projects to learn how to use the printer.
Where's the boat?
Before you start the boat.
Yeah, the boat is like the boat's not for a while.
I
The
want
boat's
the
not
boat.
for a while.
Yeah, we gotta get our skill
I
level
don't want to
up
hear
before
about
we
the
start
printer again
boat.
until it starts with boat.
Fuck you, first of all. Second of all, printer starts with 3D.
Okay. Once again, I'm threatening to quit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
That was, yeah.
How cool is this, though?
It's very cool.
After this
It's
call, I'm
very
going to
cool.
queue up the next one because we've got cilantro growing in the kitchen, and I am going to move them into this bigger pot.
Yeah.
that you printed yourself.
Dude, this saved me probably like 20, 30 bucks. I don't know.
$20-$30 for a
Yeah,
pot?
I think a pot is like $7.
Off
Okay.
to Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm sure you
definitely
can
not.
find
Century
one
style
for
pot?
$20 to $30.
Okay, I didn't use the best color, but come on. Hold on.
Sure.
Do you think we talked about the psychiatrist stuff in a balanced way? Because I
$58.
really
Okay. Oh my
what you're
god.
looking at, that's not what
Set
you
of
just
three.
made is not $58.
$36.
Sorry.
You guys are really being mean. I'm just gonna right now. This is on
Pot
Amazon.
is very cute.
This
No,
is
the
on
pot is
Amazon.
very cute. It's not.
This
it's
is the
not saving you
cheapest
$20,
place.
$30. I'm so
Excuse
sorry.
me? Do you see the texture?
It's beautiful.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's just not the right color. If I made this a different color, you would have
Yes.
been fooled. Okay?
I think so. Yes, agreed.
So fuck you. You print a fucking planter.
A purple
I
planter.
saved at least $15.
Okay,
Okay?
I'll go with you on that.
And on the
I'll
next
go
one
with
I
you on-
print, I'm saving another fucking $15. And I swear to God, I will print pots until you're satisfied.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love
you'll
that.
never be hated on by people doing better than you, or doing more pots than you, or getting pots for cheaper than you.
It's true.
So
We're
you
the
know what?
losers in this
Keep
situation.
going.
We are the losers.
You guys are the meanest
but
friends
truly,
I have.
Do you think that we talked about that in a balanced way? Because I really
Of course.
my concern about it is like really I don't want to like demonize or attack this woman, not at all. It's more thoughts around
I'm like most interested in why, like, what is the thing behind that? You know? Like,
I think I really get the sense that she believes it and is like feels wronged and feels like my guess would be, this is my completely not knowing enough about it to say anything, but like my guess would be that she has been taken advantage of consistently in her life. This is a guess. And so this has been a way or a time where she has said no more. No more people are taking advantage of me. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say something. I'm not going to let this keep happening to me.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be a time when it's been,
or maybe
who knows,
it's
right?
more likely to even be the therapist because the therapist is actually, like, in some weird way, it's working.
What's working?
The therapy's working. So in some weird way, she's like
Yeah.
using some of the new skills she's found and pointing them in the wrong direction.
No,
I'm not
that's
even joking.
Actually,
is that a
and
thing
that's
that happens?
Yes, that's a very interesting point because it is, it's that,
Dude,
it's
I
something
could have
that
been a
you'll
therapist.
see.
I so could have been a therapist.
You
I'd
so
be
could
so
have
bad.
been. Oh my God,
I'd be so bad.
No, you wouldn't. You would actually be a great therapist, I'm sure. of
No.
it.
No.
Yes, you would. If you want,
I
if
think
that
I
was
have
something
the-
you cared about.
I don't have the disposition for it though, because I eventually would be like, "You're doing it again. How can you not see that you're doing it again?"
But some people like that. There are therapists that are very direct, and some people like that. Like my demeanor is not all therapist demeanor. My like warm, soft, like kind of gooey presence. That's not everybody.
I think ranked,
I like it.
it goes Alayna, Ashley, Mac in terms of who's going to be the best therapist. But like,
Those are the only
I
three.
will
those are the only three. Like,
No, but like you'll see, like for example, if you have a client who's, let's say, working on people pleasing or boundaries or like, being taken advantage of, standing up for themselves, that kind of thing. And in a session, they tell you, like, let's say you check in around like how things are feeling or like, how did today go? And they tell you, this thing you did actually didn't feel good, or I didn't like it when you said this. It's like, yes!
Yeah, yeah.
that's exactly what we're doing, right? And so if that client then terminates therapy for any reason, it's like, okay, yes, like that at least, this is them in a way standing up for themselves, or like making a choice that is good for them and might be difficult potentially for the other person. Like, anyway,
Yeah,
that's
it
a whole
almost
other
doesn't
thing,
even
but-
matter if it's right. It's just like,
No, exactly.
which is so
exactly.
much of therapy.
Yeah.
That people don't realize, and they bring home, my therapist said. But it's not about you being right. It's just about you growing a backbone, you piece of shit. Should we take a question real quick?
Practicing. Sure. Yeah, let me look.
This was wonderful, though. I thought it was a really interesting episode. I hope that
think
lady's
so.
okay.
I do
Me
too, and I
fucking
guess
too.
maybe my nerves around it are just around, like, as someone who is training as a therapist and is about to be a therapist, the last thing I want is anybody thinking that I'm thinking negative like that, or that I'm criticizing somebody for struggling. Like, that's not at all.
I think we're more so talking about it in a context of it's relevant to you and your upcoming career.
Yeah,
it's-
and the life that we all lead online now,
Yeah.
Because
And
while
it's-
that is specific to therapy, it's like we all know that we've seen it happen in the street. Just people whipping out their phones at each other like it's a gun.
oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Like we all live under it. We all live under it. It's crazy.
Which is also like the other side of this, which Ashley, you're probably going to think this is unnecessary to say, but like the other side of this is also that it's important for clients or for people who are accessing therapy to be able to say, I was mistreated, or like there are therapists who manipulate and abuse their clients and like misuse that power dynamic. Absolutely. And like, I'm glad that there is a space now where people can talk about those things and somewhere that people can go, to say, hey, this thing happened to me and I don't know about it.
There's always, like, for both sides of it, though, there's always a thoughtful way to do it. And, but yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, and especially you should be able to go to your therapist and be like, this made me uncomfortable. And you should also be willing to leave. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with you for being like, okay, I don't know if this person's abusing me, but I'm no longer comfortable in this environment and I can't get past it. Like, whether or not it's abuse, I can't, this has become something that I like can't move past, and therefore this environment is no longer
but
useful for me.
Her whole point is that he should have terminated her once she told him that she like had a crush. I think so. I didn't actually watch the whole thing to the end because there's so many parts, but I get the sense that yes, she stopped. Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know. But
see, that's the type of thing, like, let's say that she's right and that he is interested in her and that she's interested in him and it was inappropriate. It looks like it found its way to its correct ending. So it was like a difficult situation for both people. Maybe he didn't know his full mind. Maybe he was trying to navigate it. Maybe there was some kind of miscommunication. Maybe he was trying to like do the best that he could given what he knows and his knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a conflict. You guys had a conflict and neither person was... Is she alleging that it went on for a long time?
Yeah, she saw him for like 3 years or something. And was just saying that he should have, that she was obsessed with him, and that when he realized that, he should have terminated her, but she was feeding him.
Oh, so it is
fantasy.
kind of exactly what she's saying. She's just using the evidence.
Well,
she could have very
because there's the argument is also like terminating
that he was leading her on, essentially, in some way.
Well, but she's alleging that he beyond led her on, that he was like actively manipulating and grooming her and like actively trying to nurture this obsession of hers because he got off on it. That's where she's coming from. from a professional therapist standpoint, the choice to terminate a client is a big one. And
Massive.
especially, and also she's seeing him monthly. It's not like this is a weekly appointment. This is a 30-minute appointment once a month. Psychiatrists are hard to come by. Like,
can you imagine, like, I've had people in my audience say that their therapist, they're always the people speaking out of turn, that their therapists, like, don't see them anymore. Like, oh, I've been fired from 2 therapists. Do you know how devastating to be fired by a therapist is?
yeah.
I as a therapist, would quite literally be like, this person's life is potentially in my hand. Like, this could be a devastating blow to them.
And that's exactly. And if you have somebody who sounds like they're really struggling and like really having a hard time in various ways, the decision to, like, I wouldn't, whatever. It's just tough. Like, it's hard to say.
No, we hear you, Alayna. I'm just playing like devil's advocate from her perspective to try and find like broader ground here because you brought it up. But I'm just saying, like, even if you look at it from her perspective, I think you have to be like, this guy, you may have misunderstood him. And the stakes are so high that he wasn't trying to lead you on. He was trying to help your life. Like, he was trying to be so like, but it's such a delicate thing, this relationship. So, yeah.
And that's actually a curious kind of question to pose to everybody listening, is like, what is that balance? What is that line? Like, if you are working with somebody who has told you, I have a crush on you, I'm having sex dreams about you, but also seems to want to continue coming to therapy and is expressing how beneficial it is and how much you're helping them, like, it's tough to draw that line of like, when do you say, okay, I'm terminating you because I don't think this is helping. Like, that also takes away agency from people.
Totally.
No, I'd say
such a
GTFO,
tricky...
I'm married. But I'm also bottom tier therapist
Mac,
out of the 3 of us.
We like forgot you were here for a while. Wow, that was a long time without Mac talking.
We did dominate.
Sorry.
Mac, pick a question and let's go back to our segment.
Mac doesn't give a fuck. Like, before you write in about, like, with all your stupid beep boop, this guy does not give a fuck. She does not give a fuck. Okay?
No.
Who's got 2 thumbs and doesn't give a fuck? Mac.
That little lad.
But yeah, you don't understand.
Oh, which Mac is baby? Because this is the Chosen
There's
Family
no time.
podcast.
We have to move on. Jen is going to Italy. I have no time with her. We have to go.
Okay.
We already answered a question because Alayna was like, what would you do if your therapist was...
Great. So Mac,
Did
how about
someone write in the Patreon, patreon.com/chosenfamilypodcast, where you can submit your questions? Someone wrote in there, I think my therapist might be in love with me. Can you read all this and answer? Didn't someone write that?
Oh, maybe I haven't
Really?
looked.
I'm pretty sure someone wrote that.
Well, and that's a different question.
That was a bit.
Oh, no,
Okay.
I was totally going to go into that. Let's just
Super
finish
dry.
it on that. Let's finish it on that because
were you joking like one of our listeners would be that wild to like... Never mind, I should have done this in my head.
Yeah,
but
it was just a bit.
But I know it's a bit, but can I just answer it seriously? Just because that's also the other side, is if you think that your therapist is in love with you,
You've
then
got
yes,
mad riz. You've got mad riz. Yes.
that would probably be a time to terminate therapy. Like, that's inappropriate. It's not like absolute.
Yeah, it's time to go make another one.
That's
fall
not
in
the
love
way
with
it's supposed to feel.
You gotta collect them. That is a riz master right there.
But if you feel like you're having feelings for your therapist, I would say bring it up in therapy.
Dude, I would not be able to comprehend a hot woman as my client.
Oh my god, I was just thinking about
As your
this.
client?
Yeah, if I were a therapist.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that.
And a hot woman came in
Yeah.
and was like, hello, I'm new.
Dude,
And I'm like, yeah.
if
Okay,
Alayna was my
I
therapist,
take back everything
I
you
would
just
fire
said.
her.
I said about you being a therapist, Ashley.
Oh yeah, Ashley's bottom tier now.
Yeah, Ashley, that just put you to bottom tier. Max, sorry, what did you say?
I said if you were my therapist, I would fire you.
Yeah, Alayna, I think you're going to have a problem, especially if you're taking on a lot of queer people.
Yeah, you're too hot to be a therapist.
I'm seeing like exclusively queer.
And you're going to be like hot and
They're in love
nice.
with you. They're all in love with you.
I hoop not.
No, 100%. They are all in love with you. They are all going to be making TikToks about this tomorrow, being like,
Don't say that.
being like, this is crazy. I just found out online that my therapist is married and she has been leading me on the entire time.
Oh no. I have had clients now come in and say, I found your YouTube channel. That's been happening.
What do you say?
Well, it's actually been very sweet because people have been will ask me, like, is that okay? I didn't watch it.
What do you say? I'm curious.
I didn't watch it. Okay, sure.
I say,
They totally did.
I say, that's up to you. You won't see anything there that is different from how I am here. It's up to, basically I'll say it's up to
Except
how
when
you're.
she's topping your dad. Thank you guys for listening. We are done. Patreon.com/Chosen Family Podcast if you want bonus. That is where Alayna talks shit about her clients.
Oh, don't. That's not even funny. No, I don't. No, I don't. I would never.
It's a little bit funny. It's kind of funny. It is just a joke and it's funny.
Love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Cut. That's so getting cut. Alayna did not like that.
Chosen Family is a Forever Dog production, hosted by Ashley Gavin, Alayna Joy, and Mac and Jimmy. Edited by Danny Jewell, executive produced by Zoe Applebaum. Forever Dog Productions is Joe Cilio, Alex Ramsey, and Brett Bowen.
Forever